Welcome back. In this lesson, we're looking at large language models explained, how ChatGPT and LLMs work. AI/machine learning educational explainer. Now let's look at how does ChatGPT understand you. You type a question. ChatGPT reads it. Then it gives a fluent answer in seconds. But how does it do that? Is it thinking like a human? Is it searching the internet every time? Or is it predicting language patterns? In this video, we will explain large language models simply. Now let's look at roadmap of the video. First, we will understand what a large language model is. Then we will see why it is called large. Next, we will learn about tokens and next word prediction. After that, we will understand transformers and attention. Then we will see how models are trained and fine-tuned. Finally, we will discuss prompts, limitations, and responsible use. Now let's look at what is a large language model. A large language model, or LLM, is an AI model trained to work with language. It can read, write, summarize, translate, explain, and answer questions. It learns from huge amounts of text. That text helps it learn grammar, facts, writing styles, reasoning patterns, and context. ChatGPT is an example of a chatbot powered by large language models. The goal is to generate useful text based on the user's prompt. Now let's look at why is it called large? It is called large for three main reasons. First, it is trained on very large amounts of text data. Second, it has many internal settings called parameters. Third, it needs huge computing power during training. Parameters help the model store learned patterns. More parameters do not automatically mean perfect intelligence. But large-scale training can help the model learn complex language behavior. Now let's look at LLMs learn patterns from text. LLMs do not learn language by memorizing one answer for every question. They learn patterns from many examples of text. They learn how words usually appear together. They learn how sentences are structured. They learn how questions and answers are written. They also learn styles, formats, and common explanations. This pattern learning is the foundation of how LLMs generate responses. Now let's look at tokens explained simply. LLMs do not usually read text exactly word by word. They break text into smaller pieces called tokens. A token can be a word, part of a word, a number, or a symbol. For example, a sentence becomes a sequence of tokens. The model processes these tokens mathematically. It uses them to understand the prompt and generate the next part of the answer. Tokens are the building blocks of LLM communication. Now let's look at next token prediction. The basic training task is simple to understand. The model looks at previous tokens. Then it predicts the next likely token. For example, the capital of France is, the model may predict Paris. This prediction happens again and again. Many small predictions become a full answer. Now let's look at why prediction can look intelligent. Next token prediction sounds simple. But at massive scale, it becomes powerful. To predict the next useful word, the model must learn grammar. It must learn facts and relationships. It must learn tone and context. It must learn how explanations are usually structured. That is why text prediction can produce answers that look intelligent. Now let's look at transformers and attention. Most modern LLMs are based on a model architecture called the transformer. The transformer helps the model process many tokens together. A key idea inside transformers is attention. Attention helps the model decide which words in the prompt matter most. For example, in a long question, some words are more important than others. Attention helps the model connect related words and ideas. This makes the model better at understanding context. Now let's look at simple attention example. Imagine the sentence, the student opened the book because it was useful. The word it refers to the book. A model needs to connect it with the correct word. Attention helps the model focus on related parts of the sentence. This is important for long prompts and complex questions. Without attention, the model would struggle to track meaning. Attention is one reason LLMs can handle context well. Now let's look at training an LLM. Training an LLM happens in stages. First, the model is pre-trained on large amounts of text. During pre-training, it learns general language patterns. Then it may be fine-tuned to follow instructions better. Human feedback can also be used to improve helpfulness and safety. The final model is better at answering questions in a conversational way. Training is expensive, complex, and requires powerful computing systems. Now let's look at how ChatGPT responds to a prompt. When you type a prompt, the model converts it into tokens. It reads the context of your message. It estimates what response would be most useful. Then it generates output token by token. Each new token depends on the prompt and the tokens already generated. This continues until the answer is complete. The final result looks like a natural conversation. Now let's look at what LLMs can do well. LLMs are useful for many language tasks. They can explain difficult topics simply. They can summarize long documents. They can help draft emails, blogs, scripts, and reports. They can translate and rewrite text. They can help generate code examples. They are especially useful when paired with clear instructions and human review. Now let's look at what LLMs cannot do perfectly. LLMs are powerful, but they are not perfect. They can make mistakes. They can produce confident but incorrect answers. This is often called hallucination. They may misunderstand unclear prompts. They may reflect bias from training data. They do not truly understand the world like humans do. That is why important outputs should be checked. Now let's look at better prompts give better answers. A prompt is the instruction you give to the model. Better prompts usually produce better responses. A good prompt gives context, task, audience, format, and constraints. For example, explain photosynthesis is basic. Explain photosynthesis to a 12-year-old using a simple analogy is better. The model uses your prompt as direction. Clear instructions help the model generate more useful answers. Now let's look at final recap. Let us recap the full idea. A large language model is trained to understand and generate text. It works with tokens. It predicts the next token step by step. Transformers and attention help it understand context. Training and human feedback make it more useful for conversations. LLMs are powerful assistants, but they still need human judgment. Use them to learn faster, think better, and create responsibly. To wrap up, here is the key takeaway. You now have a structured overview of large language models explained, how ChatGPT and LLMs work. Review the core ideas, connect them to examples, and revisit concepts like how does ChatGPT understand you, roadmap of the video, what is a large language model? When practicing, if you can explain the idea in your own words, you have really understood it.